Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to another character spotlight for Overwatch, this time taking a look at Soldier 76. So guys, Soldier 76 is probably one of the most straightforward assault characters in the game. As we know, there's several assault characters that are possible here, attack characters, but Soldier 76 is really pretty straightforward. The main reason being that he just has a gun that he shoots people with. There's a couple other things though, because like all characters in Overwatch, there's a little bit more than meets the eye and there's a little bit of nuance. So the first thing I'd like to take a look at is his heavy assault rifle. This is your primary weapon, and this is pretty much what you're going to be using most of the time. Simply hold left click to shoot. Doesn't get any easier than that. However, there's a little bit more to it. You'll notice the white plus sign in the center of my screen. That's where bullets can land, inside the center of that. Notice that if I just kind of click rapidly, you're going to wind up being able to hit pretty accurately all the time. However, as you hold left click and you fire more quickly, it's going to expand that area and your accuracy is going to start to suffer. That's not a big deal when you're shooting at a very large target that's relatively close by. However, if you're trying to shoot at a relatively smaller target that's perhaps a little bit further away, you might wind up missing more often than not. So your best bet here really is to kind of like, try and, control your shots a little bit more. Try not to just go in guns blazing. Obviously that is a tactic that you can use, but you'll see a little bit more about how useful this is as we get further into stuff when we play in actual matches instead of just against training bots. Secondary fire is your Helix rockets. These are really useful because they're a rocket and they do a whole bunch of damage. You'll notice on the bottom right there is a cooldown indicator here. We didn't see this much with the Mercy Spotlight because very few of her abilities have big cooldowns, but most characters have cooldown abilities, and you can see the rockets are obviously one of them. It's got about an 8-second cooldown before you can fire another rocket. So try and use that sparingly. One good tactic is to aim at the ground because you'll definitely have a better chance at hitting guys. Your shift ability is very important. It lets you run, basically getting around the map more quickly. There's nothing much to say about this except that your Helix ability is disabled. The best way to break out of this is to left click and bring out your gun again, or just, hit shift again, either way. And finally, your E ability is very, very useful. Let me take a little bit of damage here and I'll show you why. So pressing E will drop down on the ground in front of you a little healing beacon. Not only will it heal you, but it'll also heal your allies, keeping them at full health. This is very useful, but it's on a decent cooldown. It looks like it was about 12 or 13 seconds there. So trust me when I say that you're going to want to use that relatively frequently, but know when to use it, right? Don't just drop it down when you're at full health, because 15 seconds is a bit of a cooldown. You're going to only be able to use that every now and then. My recommendation for this, try and use it as soon as you start taking damage if you expect to take more. For example, if you're up against an enemy and you start taking damage, drop it right away. So an example of that would be now, I see he's shooting at me, I'm going to start healing through his attacks and try and stay alive. It stays on the ground for a good couple of seconds. Looks like about 5 seconds there it stays on the ground for, so very useful. Finally, his ultimate ability is Tactical Visor. This is pretty much an aimbot. A legit aimbot. Press Q, and you'll notice that you activate Tactical Visor. You don't have to aim at your enemies in order to hit them. As long as they're somewhere in the center of your field of vision, you'll be hitting them constantly, and it's a great way to do a bunch of damage all at once. However, like all ultimate abilities, you don't want to just spam it as soon as you get it. You want to make sure to use it at the right time. Typical scenarios that you want to avoid are A, if you're low on health, because that Tactical Visor, as we saw, lasts for a little bit of time. You don't want to die the moment you hit it, otherwise it's wasted. Another time not to use it is when Reinhardt's around and he has a big shield covering in front of his allies. You're not going to hit anybody through that shield, so do yourself a favor. If you don't know who Reinhardt is, well, wait for the Reinhardt Spotlight. And as mentioned in the Mercy Spotlight, just as an FYI, hitting enemies in the head does a lot more damage. That, which was about 15 bullets, compared to that, which took about 7. So definitely a lot more damage shooting them in the head as opposed to shooting them in the body. Try and aim for the head, obviously, but not at the expense of missing. All right, now that we've gotten to the point where we're ready to check out some in-game footage and see what it's like playing Soldier 76 regularly against humans who aren't robots. Alright guys, so you can see here I'm playing with Soldier 76, running out into battle. I want to emphasize how Soldier is a good medium range character. So Pharah's about to pull off an ultimate here. You'll see her call out. She's right up there, and there she goes. So I'm going to make sure to stay out of line of her rockets that she's calling down on people, and give her a good shot or two from long range. And you can see me throwing down my heals there to keep myself well healed. And here it is in slow motion. Alright guys, so here's another example of your ultimate ability. Remember I said it's going to pretty much auto-aim for you, but you want to be really careful about when to use it. So right now I'm rushing in, I see there's a bunch of guys in there, but my health gets low. So I want to make sure to heal up before I use my ultimate. I don't want to die while using it. So I activate it now. There's a Reinhardt in there that's protecting my bullets, so I make sure to switch off to another character and then go after Reinhardt once his shield is down. Now that it's back up, I'm going behind him to get behind his shield. So Reinhardt has this big shield in front of him that'll protect him. But properly using your ultimate ability there, as you can see, kind of earned us the objective, which was really good. So we captured the point, and that was pretty cool. Nice. Now I'm going after Pharah, who's kind of flying around here. She's always a little bit tricky to hit, especially when she's flying quickly. But again, another example of using your medium range ability that Soldier has. And once again, let's take a look at this scene in slow motion. So Reinhardt here has that shield up. So as soon as I see him put it up, I go and aim for somebody else in the room. He put his shield down, so I'm back on him. And then I go back to someone else in the room over here on the left. Jump over, aim, and kind of shoot. Nice. So I took out that guy, and now Reinhardt's charging, so I'm switching right back to him and making sure only to fire once he's inside that big blue circle. Once his shield is back up, I can pretty much stop firing there. Sneak up behind him on the shield, and help to take him out. Obviously, there's 3 or 4 of us in here, so this is not a one-man show. That's something to emphasize about Overwatch. It's never a one-man show. This is a team-based game. You need to work together. Absolutely the most important part of playing Overwatch. So I kind of think another important thing to show you guys in tutorials is what not to do. So my ultimate's up, and I know there's a bunch of guys kind of hanging around the cart, so I plan in my head to run around behind and activate my ultimate. But right as I do so does Zenyatta, and I think I missed that cue. So I have no ability to do any damage. Zenyatta's ultimate does a massive amount of healing in an area of effect, and pretty much my ultimate was wasted. So there's when you shouldn't go ahead and ultimate. So guys, I hope you definitely learned some stuff about Soldier 76. Like I said, a pretty straightforward character to play. You point your gun and you shoot things. But there's definitely a little bit of nuance to him. You want to know when to use your rockets, when to use your healing ability, and obviously sprinting around is good, and when to use your ultimate. Like pretty much every ultimate in the game, you don't want to just hit it as soon as it's ready. You want to make sure that you use it when the time is appropriate. So for now, Double20 signing off on the Soldier 76 character overview. Hope you guys enjoyed checking it out. We will come back next time with another character to show you guys how to play it. Alright guys, take it easy.